Imagine for a moment the silence before birth. That space where the soul chooses its new path. Nothing is accidental. Not the day, not the month, not even the last number of your birth year. According to ancient Buddhist masters, this final number is a sacred key, an invisible mark left by your past lives, which echoes in your present as a gentle reminder of what still needs to be learned and balanced. When we look at our birth year, we are not just seeing a date. We are contemplating the beginning of a new karmic cycle, one that carries the fruits of previous actions, the merits and lessons we brought with us. It is like an ancient song that continues to play, even when we believe it has already changed tunes. The last digit of this number represents the vibration that concludes the previous cycle. It speaks of your inner nature, the spiritual challenges that have accompanied you throughout many lifetimes, and the type of energy you came to harmonize in this life. Take a deep breath for a moment. Allow yourself to feel the mystery behind your birth, as if each number tells a secret of your soul, kept silent for centuries. In this video, you will discover what the last digit of your birth year reveals about who you were in past lives, what you still need to understand, and what spiritual purpose guides your current journey. And before we continue, please make this moment a small gesture of light. Like and subscribe to the channel. This way, this wisdom can reach more people who, like you, are awakening to the signs of their destiny. Now, serenely, let us together delve into Buddhist teachings and understand the profound connection between numbers and karma. Our path begins here, with the reminder that nothing is random when the soul is ready to remember. Chapter 2. The link between numbers and karma in Buddhism. Everything is movement, and every movement leaves a trace, a vibration that continues to exist even when the body is no longer present. Masters teach that numbers are reflections of these vibrations. They are like fingerprints of the soul, echoes of past actions that shape the present. Just as a drop of water carries the essence of the ocean, the last digit of your birth year carries the essence of your karmic merits and learnings. It represents the closing of a previous cycle, the final note of a spiritual melody you have been composing for many lifetimes. In Buddhist teachings, karma is neither punishment nor reward, but the natural result of intentions. Every thought, word, and action creates a seed that blossoms in its time. And these seeds, combined, form the vibrational pattern that determines not only where and when we are reborn, but also how we experience life. The number that concludes your birth is, therefore, a symbol of where your soul left off on its previous journey. It shows whether you completed a learning experience with serenity, or whether you returned with something still to purify. Some numbers indicate a soul seeking expansion. Others, spirits already walking close to liberation. None is better or worse. All are expressions of impermanence, transformation, and the continuity of consciousness. Imagine a circle. Each reincarnation is a complete turn in this circle. The last number of your birth is the point where the circle closes, and at the same time, where another opens. This is why the masters say, to understand your birth number is to understand your soul stage in the infinite dance of rebirth. At this moment, I invite you to look at your birth year with new eyes, not as a simple date, but as a mirror of the spirit. For there, in the last digit, is encoded the energy that the universe entrusted to you for this existence. In the next chapter, we will decipher together the spiritual meaning of each number, from 0 to 9, and discover what your last digit reveals about who you were in past lives and what your soul seeks now. Chapter 3. The I, spiritual meaning of each number, 09. In the Buddhist view, numbers are more than mathematical symbols. They are frequencies of consciousness. Each number carries a spiritual vibration that expresses the soul's point within the great wheel of rebirth. Samsara, When you observe the last digit of your birth year, you are, in fact, observing the seed of your karma, the echo of what has been learned, and the invitation of what still needs to be transformed. Allow your mind to be silent and your heart to listen, for each number is a reminder of the soul, the return to the origin. Those born under the vibration of 0 are ancient souls, in search of primordial purity. 0 represents the enlightened void, the state before form, the point where everything begins and ends. These people carry the mission to begin again, without fear, freeing themselves from the past and embracing the flow of the present. Many may feel a calling to spirituality, deep meditation, or sacred solitude. Karmic message: nothing belongs to you, and it is in this freedom that you find peace, the path of the spiritual pioneer. The vibration of the number 1 reveals souls who, in past lives, were leaders, spiritual warriors, or seekers of the dharma. These are spirits who are reborn with determination and focus, but who now need to learn to lead with compassion, not pride. The challenge is to transform the strength of the ego into conscious service. Karmic message: use your light to guide, not to dominate. The soul of harmony. Those with the number 2 are born to heal and unite. They are sensitive, compassionate, and intuitive souls who have lived as caregivers, monks, or masters of empathy. Their current learning is to balance giving and receiving, without getting lost in the emotions of others. Karmic message: true harmony arises when you also include yourself in the circle of love. The Dharma communicator. The number 3 vibrates with the energy of expression, joy, and awakening through words. These souls were master orators, sacred storytellers, or teaching monks in previous lives. Today, they are reborn with the gift of inspiration and the mission to spread wisdom with ease. Karmic message: transform your words into bridges of consciousness. The Path Builder. The number 4 brings discipline, structure, and persistence. These are souls who, in past existences, worked with devotion, building temples, caring for the land, or sustaining communities. But this rigidity can become a prison if there is no flexibility. The challenge is to learn to trust the flow, without losing your steadfastness. Karmic message: what is solid only remains if it is rooted in the heart. The Traveler of Consciousness. The number 5 symbolizes movement, seeking, and freedom. These souls have experienced many journeys, as pilgrim monks, spiritual explorers, or passing healers. They carry a restlessness that pushes them to discover new horizons, both external and internal. Karmic message: true freedom is not outside. It blossoms within when you stop running. The Guardian of Compassionate Love. The number 6 vibrates at the frequency of care, tenderness, and devotion. These are souls who loved deeply in past lives, often placing others above themselves. Today, they return to learn love without attachment, the love that embraces without holding back. Karmic message: mature love is that which liberates, not that which holds back. Tarhouse. The silent contemplative souls, with the number 7 are linked to introspection, philosophy, and meditation. They were monks, hermits, or dharma scholars in other existences. In this life, they seek to understand the deeper meaning of things, but they must avoid excessive isolation. Karmic message: wisdom blossoms when silence meets the heart. The Lord of Karma and Transformation. The number 8 represents the balance between matter and spirit, power and humility. These souls have already experienced positions of authority, leadership, or wealth, and now they return to learn the true use of power, the power of service. Karmic message: transform dominion into giving, and the universe will sustain you. Closure and liberation. The number 9 symbolizes the mature soul, one that is closing cycles and preparing for transcendence. They are compassionate, wise, and detached beings who have already understood much about pain and rebirth. Their mission now is to serve, teach, and give what they have learned, not out of obligation, but out of love. Karmic message: you are closer to enlightenment than you think. Serve in silence, and the dharma will reveal itself. When we look closely, we realize that each number is a mirror of our spiritual progress. None is superior, none is inferior. All are portals to remembrance. A reminder that the soul is always on the path, never at rest. Chapter 4. How to use this knowledge today. Knowing. The spiritual meaning of the last digit of your birth year is like opening a window into your soul. An opportunity to recall what your consciousness already knows, but has forgotten. However, the true value of this discovery lies not only in knowing the symbol, but in living the wisdom it represents. Buddhism. Understanding karma is learning to observe without judgment. You don't need to change the number destiny has given you, but you can use its energy consciously. When you recognize the vibrational pattern that accompanies it, you begin to transform unconscious repetitions into enlightened choices. If your number speaks of strength, use your strength to protect, not dominate. If it speaks of love, learn to love without attachment. If it speaks of wisdom, don't hide from the world. Share the light that inhabits you. The wisdom of numbers is not a fixed destiny, but a spiritual map, and each map points to the same path, the path of liberation. This is why the masters teach that every spiritual reading, every symbol, and every interpretation is only valuable if it leads to present awareness. Practice observing your number with mindfulness. Meditate on it, write it down, draw it in the sand, gaze at it, until you feel that it is not just a number, but a living reminder of your mission in this existence. And as you do, ask yourself, what is this number trying to teach me right now? Perhaps it asks you for patience, perhaps courage, or perhaps silence, but it will always be an invitation to transformation, an opportunity to align your heart with the flow of the universe. Dharma reminds us that the past does not define the future. It only indicates where there is still shadow to be illuminated. Thus, when you understand your birth number, you also understand your soul's next step. Apply this wisdom to the little things, to the way you react, the way you speak, the way you forgive, the way you calm yourself before acting. Because it is in everyday life, not in grand ceremonies, that karma is balanced. When you act consciously, the cycle softens, and the number that once represented the past begins to transform into the energy of liberation. In the next chapter, you will be guided through a special meditative practice to connect with the vibration of your number and feel the memory of your own soul. A moment of silence, light, and inner recognition, where time ceases to exist and only being remains. Chapter 5. Guided Meditation Practice. Encountering your soul's memory. Find a quiet place now. Sit with your spine straight. Breathe gently and allow your body to relax, as if each breath reconnects you to the essence of who you are. In this moment, there is no past or future, only the now, where the eternal resides. Close your eyes, inhale deeply through your nose, and as you exhale, release all the weight that no longer belongs to you. Old memories, worries, expectations. Let it all dissolve like mist in the morning sun. Now, bring to mind the last digit of your birth year. See it before you, perhaps floating in light, perhaps etched in a soft, shimmering golden field. This number is not just a symbol, it is the echo of everything you have lived, the whisper of your existence, the vibration of who you have been since the beginning of time. Observe it with love, feel its energy. Notice if it pulses with calm, warmth, peace. Each vibration is a message. As you continue to breathe, Imagine that this number begins to radiate light, a light that envelops your entire body, from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. It is the light of recognition, the remembrance that you are more than a name, more than a story. You are a soul on a journey, always returning to the same source of wisdom. Allow yourself to hear the silent voice within you. It may say, "I have been here before, and now I return to awaken." Let this voice echo in serenity. Feel how the number slowly dissolves into pure clarity, as if it were once again just energy, formless, timeless. This is the soul, vast, luminous, and free. Remain in this state for a few moments, just breathing, just being. When you feel the moment is right, bring your hands to your heart and say, mentally, "I am grateful for the lessons of the past. I am grateful for the awareness of the present. May my every step be guided by the light of awakening." Inhale, exhale, and as you open your eyes, take with you the serenity that arises from inner remembrance. For the number that once seemed like just a detail is, in fact, a mirror of the infinity within you, a bridge between what once was and what is becoming. In the next chapter, we will delve deeper into this reflection and understand how to recognize the signs that your soul is ready to end old cycles and begin walking the path of spiritual liberation with wisdom and gratitude. Chapter 6, Final Spiritual Reflection. The cycle of the soul and the call of light. When we silence our hearts, life begins to speak in the language of symbols, numbers, encounters, coincidences. Nothing is coincidental. Every detail is a petal of the great lotus of awakening, slowly opening within us. The last digit of your birth year is one of these petals. It reminds you that you are a being on a journey, a traveler who has traversed centuries of experiences, joys, and learning. Nothing is lost. Everything you have experienced is stored in the memory of the spirit, transformed into silent wisdom. Buddhism teaches that there is no straight line in existence. Everything is a circle. Everything returns. Until the lesson is understood, until the heart becomes pure enough to free itself from the cycle. And this liberation is not escape, but understanding. It is when the soul stops chasing meaning and begins to live meaning. Look at your number one last time. In your mind, no longer see it as a fixed code, but as a mantra, a vibration that accompanies you. It doesn't tell you who you should be. It reminds you of who you've always been, a being of consciousness, compassion, and light. When you understand the spiritual value of every little thing, a gesture, a look, a breath, karma begins to dissolve. The past ceases to be a burden and becomes a bridge, and the present becomes a temple. Perhaps in this life, your mission is simply to learn to trust, or to forgive, or simply to be. And that's okay. Awakening isn't in rushing, but in the depth with which you live each moment. In the silence of the now, realize you are not starting or ending anything. You are remembering. And this remembrance is the first step to liberation. Before closing, take this reflection with you. Nothing is lost when there is consciousness. Every number, every life, every breath is just the universe trying to remember itself through you. In the next and final chapter, we will bring a spiritualized conclusion with a gentle call to action, an invitation to continue this journey of wisdom and self-discovery, expanding the light within and around you. Chapter 7, Closing and Spiritualized Call. We have reached the end of this journey, but in truth, nothing ends. Every teaching, every breath, and every awakened memory is just the beginning of a new cycle of consciousness. The number you carry at the end of your birth year is not a destiny set in stone. It is an invitation to evolution, a spark that guides you back to your own center. Breathe deeply. Feel the silent presence that has always accompanied you. That part of you that observes everything, that does not age, that does not change. That simply is. That's where Dharma resides, the simple and eternal truth that you are already complete. Allow yourself to be grateful. Be grateful for being here, for having sought meaning, for allowing the sacred to enter your life so serenely. Be grateful for having remembered that time is but a veil, and that the spirit is infinite. And if this video touched your soul, transform that feeling into a gesture. Like, subscribe to the channel, and share this message with someone who also seeks to understand their soul's path. For every act of sharing is a seed of wisdom sown into the world. And an awakened heart always recognizes another awakened heart. In the next video, we will delve deeper into this spiritual journey. Click on the video that's now appearing on the screen and allow yourself to dive even deeper. There you will understand how to live with serenity, detachment, and light. Remember, true awakening does not happen suddenly, but in every moment you choose to act with awareness, love, and peace.